Looks like somebody's in here. I don't have my mic set up yet. Hold on. Hear me now? All right, now it should be good. Hi Tessa, thanks for coming in. You're the first person in here. Go ahead. Hey Martin. Just getting my audio set up, making sure everything's working good. All right, so they're both good. I'm in the same spot I was the other day. I thought this was like a good angle. How you guys doing? Do you guys like animals? Can I ask you a few questions? Yeah. You okay being on my live stream? I just started, so there's only a few people that are just coming in.
We're kind of on a time crunch at the moment, so.
Okay. If you want to take more information, you can just grab something and go. The kids are thinking about it. One kid looked like he was laughing. I had a couple of good conversations while I was setting up again. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, let me introduce myself, I guess. I should do that. I'm jacoblagatare. I'm in Gettysburg again. So I'm going to be asking people how they feel about animals, if they want to respect animals. How do they think the best way to respect animals is? There was a lady that I asked that to, or I said, I think the best way to respect them is just to leave them alone. And she was like, I totally agree. What does that guy have? It looks like a W. So thanks for being here. There's a couple people here, I think, that have been here for my other streams too, so I really appreciate you guys. My last couple of shorts that I made have gotten a lot of views. How you doing, sir? Can I ask you a few questions? He said no. Yeah, so that's cool. I don't know if it's because I started doing the live streams. I made my shorts really short though. They're like 15 seconds. And I think more people are watching them all the way through. So it's getting shared around to more people. So I like that. I'm trying to spread the message as well as I can. And I like to look at some of the analytics, and 25% of people that are finding me through like a search are finding me through searching Gettysburg, which I thought was kind of cool. So people are looking up Gettysburg in YouTube, and my stuff's coming up. People are watching it. Hi, Roya. I forgot my other phone today, so I can't look at the stream while I'm standing over here. So that kind of sucks. But I do have my tablet, so I want to show people some footage. A lot of the analytics are pretty interesting because I'm starting to get more views and more subscribers, so I can see like how many male and females are watching my videos. And it's a lot of males. It's like 85% guys. And I wish it was getting shown to more women, because I think women are a little bit more open. How you guys doing?
Yep.
Can I ask you a few questions? I gave out a couple of stickers to a couple of kids that were up here looking at all the animals before I was ready. There's people in the bank behind the camera, and I think they're pointing out here and trying to figure out what I'm doing. And this other restaurant's open now. They weren't open when I was here the other day, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and ask me what I'm doing. Before I started the stream, though, I passed out a bunch of more zines. I have 7 more, actually only 6. But I did give the 7th one out to my brother. How you doing, sir? Can I ask you a few questions? So I saw my brother this morning, and he's awesome. He's definitely like one of my favorite people in the whole world. So I showed him the zines that I was making, and sorry, there's a piece of trash. And he was like, can I have this one? Or like, he was like, do you want me to have this? And I said, yeah. I said, can you pass it out to someone? And he said he would. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Could I ask you a few questions?
We're kind of busy, sorry.
All right. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Beautiful dog. Yeah, so like he's not vegan, but every time we go out to eat, he always gets the vegan option. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
How about this one? We can eat first.
Okay. Oh, they're going to eat. Everybody says that. I'm thinking that my next stream I might start at 12, because there's a lot of people walking around at 12, I think, just to get lunch. And maybe I can catch more people before they go eat. So there's what's up, PJ? Let's see who else is in here. Robin, how you doing? How's everybody doing today? How you doing, sir? Can I ask you a few questions? It's so weird how yesterday, or not yesterday, but the last stream and today, people were coming up while I was setting up, and then when I'm live, nobody wants to talk. Can I ask you guys a few questions? We just put a sign out here they got live music here tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Oh, it's open mic night tonight at the tap room in the square. That's cool. I didn't have a zine to pass out to the tap room, though. I went to, there's a barbecue place and a pizza place that are like kind of together. And then there's another deli across the street. And then I went to the ramen place, and that guy in there like didn't even want to talk to me. So he just pretty much told me to get out when I tried to hand him something. How you doing, man? Can I ask you a few questions? Are you okay being in my live stream?
Yeah, sure.
All right, awesome. You can talk into that mic.
Thanks.
So do you like animals?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do.
Yeah, me too. How do you feel about humans exploiting animals?
It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Factory farming and all that shit.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
wild.
yeah.
Even, I mean, the line for me is probably like owning chickens in your backyard, but I don't know how to solve any of these commercial issues with it.
Yeah.
Food would be like hyper expensive, but it is fucked.
Yeah, even with backyard chickens, we bring those chickens in for our benefit, right? And then like we might give them a good life, but then normally we got to take them out at a fraction of their life. Even if they're in your backyard, because they don't lay eggs their whole life. So if you're using them for their eggs, you'd have to like keep them and without them producing anything. So it would cost a lot, you know. So that's why it's really hard for people to do that, and it takes up way more space. And people that live like in the cities, they can't really have backyard chickens and stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't have space for that where I live.
I wish. Yeah, straight up.
So yeah, if you're kind of against humans exploiting animals, do you think like you want to respect animals, right? Do you think we can respect them as we're eating them and like taking things from them?
I don't think we respect the animals that we domesticated as
Yeah,
real animals.
Yeah.
It's kind of this weird separate thing. I don't personally think that's like super great, but I also don't abstain from eating meat or
Right.
using animal products or
Yeah.
making sure that like they're not testing on animals or anything. I really don't do
Yeah.
any research.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like, you know what living vegan is, right?
Yeah.
Like it's more than just like a diet, but it's like you said, testing on animals or using them for like clothing, like leather or fur. So what would stop you from living vegan? Like, it sounds like you want to respect animals.
It's hard to rock the boat culturally. Like, I'm not in my zone. So, like, I would be, unless I do this, like, so stoically and silently, which sure is possible, you know that's hard to do. It makes it much easier when you're blabbering about something to, like, get that motivation to be like, I'm doing this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I would be the only one.
Right.
I would be the only one in, like, my area, my friend group, my family.
You want to be a follower though, or like you the kind of person that likes to lead sometimes, like, you know, especially if you know like it's something that, you know, you don't really agree with, like you want to keep supporting that.
No,
or
not
like
generally, no.
You know, you can lead by example, you know, and have some of those conversations with some of your family members and friends, and you never know, you might convince them too.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to respect animals, you know, but it's like we kind of disconnect ourselves from what's happening,
or any of the responsibility for it.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, but we still support it. You know, you eat 3 times a day. If you're spending money 3 times a day, you're voting with your money towards those industries that like we don't agree with, but then we give them our money. So our actions agree with it, even though like our hearts like don't. You know what I mean? So,
and on the other end, there's these like weird sticking points I hear about like eating vegan, or like it's like mostly made up by like the meat and farming lobby.
Yeah.
They're like, oh well, you die, and well you can't possibly get enough protein and all that stuff. It's it's not true at all. And like I was vegan a little bit in high school, but that's what it was like. You know, it was fun.
So like,
I can't give you a good reason though why I don't want to do it.
Yeah, if you were in the position of the animal, how fast would you want things to change? Like,
man, it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, have you seen some of the footage? Do you want to watch a couple minutes of a video real quick? I can show you.
Sure,
It's nothing too crazy, but let's see if this recognizes me.
Oh, so it's like you just have it up already, service tab.
Yeah.
Nice.
You get the light down.
One thing that unites us as humans is food. And one thing that's common amongst almost all our cultures is the use of animals in food. Supermarket packaging and marketing campaigns may lead us to believe these animals live happy lives. But is this actually the case?
Oh my gosh.
In the pig industry,
have you seen that?
There's
an Instagram account of a guy who worked in a pig plant in like Louisiana, and he keeps leaking all of these videos, and they're like horrific. It is like otherworldly how fucked up this is. Just like ceilings and blood, pools of blood, and like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Those who survive have their tails docked.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hell on earth.
And man, I have a coworker, and he grew up in Georgia. Like that's what they do there. Like, he worked on a couple of chicken farms, and he used to like pick tobacco and stuff, like the whole agricultural nine.
Male chicks.
And it's just like everybody there is so like desensitized. Like they don't really care. Not that they don't care about the animals, but it's just that this wouldn't bug them for whatever reason. It's fucked. Yeah, all the male chicks get around.
Are selectively bred.
Yeah, it's like those people like they start with emotions, but you know they like train themselves to try to not pay attention to it, and then some of the statistics show like the highest rates of domestic violence are from people that work in slaughterhouses. So and like a lot of them get PTSD and things like that. So
I'm sure that comes from like a couple of things.
It affects the people a lot too. It's like if you care about the people, if you care about the animals and the environment,
This
like
isn't living or working conditions for like anybody.
yeah, we just got to stop it.
Still cautious long after he puts on ice.
So even some people say fish are the worst because we pull them out of the water and basically drown them.
All animals.
Have you seen some of the, this is not even America specifically, but what economies and government entities are willing to do to keep food prices low? Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, look up what happened with the new big bill that they just passed.
Oh, yeah.
It's like billions and billions more for animal agriculture. Like, it's ridiculous.
And like subsidies and
And
stuff?
yeah. So they can just kill them faster and
We're
more,
wasting time
like-
here.
just to keep it afloat because it's not efficient. It's 10 times the calories go into an animal that we get out of it. So, and it takes way more space. It's like 80% of the land. We only get like 20% of the calories. It doesn't make any sense.
That is, yeah, I heard that point, and that's one I think I gotta remember too. It is wildly inefficient. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like regular, even ag culture. Regular plant farming is like not crazy efficient, but for the kind of food you get, it literally changed us as a species.
Yeah.
Right? And then domesticating animals, it does seem like a stepping stone in like humanity that maybe we can get over. Like maybe we don't need these domesticated animals like as much as we've been like accustomed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like we can get around. We have plastics are not the solution, but like we have so many different like you can. What is it? You make plastic out of hemp.
Yeah. Corn now too. I think they're making some
corn
like
plastic. I mean, like
out of different plants and stuff.
we can get around it. I'm sure.
Yeah. We can use plants for a lot of that stuff. And plants don't have feelings like animals do. You know.
Yeah.
So
Have you seen the studies? Like they do feel pain.
like what plants?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I wouldn't call it pain. Like they react to certain things, but it's different than animals. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not a visceral, I'm sure, like experience that's like comparable to you or I.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to think, that sapling there is like is doing something for real. It's not just
Right.
standing there.
Yeah, they're definitely alive, but like it's like you can take fruit from a tree, you know, and it'll like grow more fruit. But
And
when
it's
you're
designed to fall
when you're
off.
when you're taking stuff from the animals, like sometimes you got to kill the animal, or just in the standard process, like they kill cows for milk and they kill chickens for eggs. So it might not be the one producing the milk at the time for that product or that egg laying chicken, you know, but
and then you kill them
it's just
super
crazy.
early, and then you kill the males. They're like, the more you think about it, this is
it's
like
really sexist.
wildly inefficient.
Yeah. It's
Wildly
sexist what they do in those industries with the eggs and the dairy because they treat them so differently just by their sex, and then it's speciesist what we do to all the animals because
That's what species.
it's just like being racist, you know. There's nothing that separates species except it's a category that we just created, you know.
Yeah.
So you know there's science behind the differences between animals and plants, but all animals, all the different species, we're all pretty similar. So we should respect, I think, other animals a little bit more than we do.
I believe that.
Yeah.
100%.
So
It's weird. Some of these animals wouldn't exist had we not brought them, but it's also like they do live a little bit of like an abomination kind of thing. Like they take it in like a total like 1100s Bible context, like a dog or a cat or a chicken, they can't like live on their own. You know what I mean? Like it's
not
quickly, which is like they are kind of like abominations to nature. They couldn't live in that. We've taken them out of it.
Yeah, exactly. They were wild ones, but they're not anywhere near like the domesticated ones that we have. So we should like almost devolve like the species back down. I would say like leave them alone, let them do whatever happens. You know, the crazy ones that we modified, they might die out. That's probably the best thing for them. You know what I mean? And
they can't live on
we
their
just
own.
have wild cows and wild chickens and wild pigs. then, you know, I think things will kind of get back to the way they should be. We can just respect them and leave them.
And what's our original cattle? Like one of those big ones in India or something, like a Brahmin? I wonder what our original, like, OG cow looked like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, you too. I got one more question.
Yeah.
So you want things to change like pretty quickly, right? Like if you were in their position.
Generally,
How many more animals should be exploited for you before you live vegan? Should it be more than zero?
We need two more.
Two more? Two more?
Species. No, it does need to end now.
Yeah.
And I think I will do more talking. There's a couple of people in my family that are vegetarian.
Yeah. So that's close.
They've been healthy.
It's a good diet. Yeah. Just still oppressing those animals in those other industries though.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some of those are the harder products that a lot of people say. It's hard to give up cheese or eggs, but there's other alternatives out there. So just do a little bit of experimenting. Try some of those alternatives, and you might like them a lot more than you think. You know. So you can take some more information here if you want, or take a picture of this. It's got my channel, and you can see a lot of different resources there. What was your name?
My name's Jake.
Jake?
Yeah.
Hey, that's my name too. So.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, right there. So, that's awesome. Yeah, it was really nice talking to you. Are you local at all? Do you want to say where you're from or anything? Like.
I live in Harrisburg.
Cool.
I make media. If anybody needs any graphics or any kind of stuff, you can follow me on Instagram at JEKSNEK.
Cool. Yeah, I just started my channel, so I'm not big on doing like the editing and stuff like that. So I'm just doing live streams and letting them upload.
Nice.
But if I can get more of a following and I want to start making some videos and stuff, I might look out to try to get some help for somebody to make the videos. So
definitely, I'm super proficient in that.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so you can reach out to me on TikTok or YouTube or something, and now I got your stuff too, so maybe I'll reach out to you.
All right, man.
Cool.
Good meeting you.
You too, man. All right. That was a good talk. It is hell on earth. You are right. Yeah, 2 Jakes. That's cool. I got a pretty common name. You guys didn't see that guy just do what he did, like over here. He was off the screen, right? Because he did something that definitely should not be on my video. What's up, Lewis and Ben? How you guys doing? Yeah, he was off. Were we off screen there? I thought maybe we were a little bit off. Yeah, Gettysburg, that's spelled correctly. I'm good. It's a little hot today. Did he pick his nose? He was smoking, but not the cigarette that they're smoking now. I should have offered him a water. Yeah, the black guy, he's just hanging out here. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for the likes. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. There was a cool thing I saw in somebody's video the other day. They said subscribe, and down where the subscribe button was, like out of the video, it like lit up a bunch of different colors. Like a light went around it. It was really cool. I never seen that before. I tried to do a little research to figure out how I could get it to do it in my videos, and they said it's automatic, but you have to have like 100,000 subscribers, and it was only limited to like a few people. But it's something new, I guess, that might come out soon. So maybe they'll end up sharing that with everybody. But it was really cool. It totally caught me off guard. Yeah. Yeah, to both of your questions. Yeah, I know, right? That is a lot of subs. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? Good. Shake your hand. You want to say hi to people? I'm doing a live stream now. So
Hello.
this is Brandon. This is the first guy that I talked to when I was out here. So how's everything been? Are you living vegan now?
No.
No?
No, I need my meat still.
Yeah, have you looked into some more of the information now?
Yeah. It's somewhat.
If you want to talk for a few minutes, so I got a mic you can hold if you want.
I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, so I mean, like, what's stopping you? So we've already talked a little bit. So you like animals, you want to respect animals.
Yeah, I mean, I've changed my diet already. Like I've told you before, going from a grain-fed diet to grass-fed has completely changed my body in a lot of ways. So,
right, that's good. Good
I've
from a
always
health
had a lot of
perspective.
energy, but I have way more energy now just eating better because, I mean, like I said, 75, if not more percentage of the food we buy in the grocery store is complete trash.
Yeah. So that's good. You're focusing on your health, but just you got to remember from the perspective of the animal. You know, if you were in their situation, how fast would you want things to change?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You know, like that's cage free right there.
Yeah.
You think they're out in the field or something, but they're not. They just cram them all in a shed. You know. So even the grass fed.
Well, that's why you gotta find a local farm.
Yeah.
You know, buy stuff all for them.
Yeah. You think it might be healthier for you, but you know, they're still killing that animal. So what really justifies that? You could go eat some plants. You get some plant-based steaks or something like that. You got to try some of them. Pretty good.
I'll have to try one someday.
Yeah.
See what it's all about.
Yeah.
But hey, I definitely got to keep moving here.
Yeah.
Because I got to go to the brewery building, and then I'm going to the late lunch.
Yeah, there you go. Try a vegan option. Go to Food 101 down there. They got some good vegan pizzas. So you can go down there and try a pizza.
Yeah. And here, where is it at?
It's right down the street here. It's like one or two streets down. It's on the right. Right at the corner. Food 101.
Okay.
It just says 101. I think it's the address 101. It says it right there, right above the door.
I think I've been by.
Ask them for the vegan menu.
I think so.
So you got to ask them for the vegan menu.
Okay.
But it's a whole menu. So there's a whole bunch of options. So they're definitely something you'll like.
Well, if you can help me out, I don't know if you know anybody that would want any power washing done.
Yeah, sure.
It's he does house washes, business washes, pretty much anything, you know.
In town?
Anything with like algae build up and comes in. Do a chemical, you know, to spray down. It's chlorine gone.
Okay, cool.
Whatever, you know, he uses a few other things as well. But I've been working with him for 2 weeks now. And,
okay, cool.
Just bring up my name if you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Would know anybody, and just let them know that it came through Brandon Race.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Sounds good, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Good talking to you again.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Stay cool out here, man.
You want a water?
I mean, under the tree, it's not too bad, but
you have a water. You want another one?
No. Thank you, man.
All right. See you, man.
Have a good one, y'all.
Yeah, he needs to watch more footage. But he's got the same arguments he said the first time I talked to him. How you guys doing? Do you guys like animals? I should have showed him the footage. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he looked into it or not. Said he did, but I doubt it. How you doing? Good. Yeah, so I talked to a couple other restaurants too. Another pizza place. How you doing? Can I ask you guys a few questions?
Yes. Yeah. It was a great time.
Are you okay being on my live stream?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Here, this is
Oh,
your mic.
Okay.
So, do you guys like animals?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys? How do you feel about humans exploiting animals?
Not great about it. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah. I agree. Personally,
Yeah.
not a fan.
Do you think we can respect animals if we're eating them and taking things from them?
I mean, I'm personally not vegan or vegetarian. Yeah. I kind of just like, don't think about it. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's like most people. So, you mentioned vegan. Do you know what the definition of vegan is?
Okay. I'm pretty sure vegan. That's when you can eat like milk and eggs.
No, so that's vegetarian.
Okay, that's vegetarian. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, that's the. I was
don't
gonna
eat
use
products at all.
Yeah, vegetarian is diet. So
Okay.
they don't eat meat, but vegan is a stance against exploiting animals. So I think it's the best way to respect animals.
Yeah.
So it includes a diet, a plant-based diet, so we don't eat any meat or dairy or eggs. And we also don't wear any animals or use them for like bath or like beauty products, like you were saying too, or things that they test on animals for, you know? So it sounds like you guys want to respect animals, right? So like what would
Yeah.
stop you from living vegan? Because we don't need it. We don't need to eat animals.
Yeah.
Right? Would you agree with that?
Probably just because I'm a really, really picky eater, and I don't think I'd eat anything if I was a vegan. Like I'd just sit there and just starve, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. You can eat anything like on a regular animal diet. You can eat the same things on a vegan diet. It's just you got to find substitutes. So
Yeah.
like there's burgers, there's pizza, there's like tacos, and all like the regular kinds of foods.
Yeah.
You just got to like look for the vegan version of those.
Yeah.
You know?
I know Taco Bell has that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean so I wouldn't really recommend eating at the fast food places for your health reasons, you know, too much. But yeah, even those places, they do have some plant-based options. So like, if you think about it from the perspective of the animal, how fast would you want things to stop?
I don't know. I've never like thought about it
Yeah,
like
I
that.
never really thought about it because I think we're all kind of introduced to it, you know, just by
Yeah.
our families and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you guys can make your own decisions now, right? Like you control what you eat.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I could like. It's because I've like had it. It's almost like a norm to me, and I just like. I mean, I used to have a pig as a pet, and we still ate pork products. We just didn't really. We felt guilty eating it in front of her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The same with me. I had a turkey when I was younger, and I would still like every Thanksgiving like would come around. Like I used to like turkey like a lot, and I would eat it pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And then I kind of stopped. And every time Thanksgiving would come around, like I would always feel bad, like and like I kind of gave up turkey, but I ate other things, you know. And then eventually I just realized like I should probably like I love animals, and like
Yeah.
if I really wanted to respect them, that was like the best thing I thought what to do is just to live vegan. So
Right.
that's like the number one benefit. If you live vegan, if you want to respect animals and you live vegan, you stop being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know? So it was nice talking to you guys. I got one more question.
Yeah.
So how many more animals should be exploited for you before you change? Can you give me a number? Like, should it be more than 0?
I mean,
I think it depends on what animal it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, I don't know, cause
I just eat the basic meat. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
what's the difference between like a cow and a chicken and a cat or a dog?
well,
I mean-
because humans, like, they
Normalize
made them
it.
like that. That's how they, like, survived, you know what I mean? And we didn't domesticate dogs and cats like that. But I understand what you're saying. Like, what is the difference?
Yeah, but we could, right? You
Yeah.
can get more meat off of a dog than a chicken. So like, why don't we, you know, I mean, in other places, they do
Well,
eat other animals.
My thing, I guess, is just like, even if I were to become a vegan, there still are animals being raised to slaughter.
Yeah.
So, like, I compare that to voting. Do you guys vote?
No, honestly, I don't.
Do you think that your vote matters?
No.
Like, even
Not
though
in the
there's
state that I'm from, it does not matter.
millions
at
of people, like,
I
do you
agree that
feel like
vote
you kind of
matters.
have an obligation to vote? Like, if you have the opportunity to vote, do you think that you should?
If I could, I would.
Do you feel like that you should probably
Yeah.
vote? Do you think you're like?
I think
Do you think that little say matters? Like,
I think it depends on your view on politics. Me personally, I hate them. I don't care for them at all, and I don't like research into them, which I guess
Yeah.
could like leave me short-ended. But also, it saved me from arguing with people that like I care about who have different views on it.
yeah,
So I personally don't care about voting,
right.
and
So-
I don't think from the state that I'm from a totally red state. It's never going to change. So there's no
Yeah.
point in voting.
Well,
unless-
I agree with that a little bit to an extent, but if everyone had that kind of mindset, would anything ever change? Like,
no.
and then one other thing I would like to say is when you're voting for like politics, that's normally every like 2 years, right? When you're voting with when you eat, every time you eat, you're voting with your money. So you're voting up to three times a day for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So when you're giving your money towards those industries, like you're demanding another animal go through that slaughterhouse. So
Yeah.
if you really wanted to just not do anything, that would be like living vegan and not demanding, animal abuse in a way, because we're killing them when we don't need them. It's basically abuse at that point.
Yeah, but another thing is that like there are people out there that do need to eat like red meats and stuff
Yeah.
because they're iron deficient and all that.
Yeah.
There's
So-
supplements you could take, and there's iron in a lot of plants too.
Yeah, it's not as like, I guess like, I don't know what word I'm trying to like figure out, but like, you're not getting as much from it from the supplements as you are actually just like eating what you're supposed to.
I think it'd be a lot better if the way we did it was better. Not
Yeah.
like the slaughterhouse,
How?
not like
Can you-
the preservatives, not torturing them.
Can you? Is there really a way to humanely slaughter an animal though? Because you're
I mean, like
you're
my
still just
grandpa,
killing
like, he
it at a
raises
fraction.
Cow, like he like treats them really good, and like yes,
Until he
does
kills them, right?
slaughter them. Well, yeah, but it's like
Yeah,
I think it's definitely better than what they're doing. So like I don't agree with that they should do that to like the chickens and
Yeah.
like that, but
Yeah.
and like animal testing, I
I
don't
feel
think
like-
that should be a thing either.
Did you know that most pigs go in through gas chambers?
Yeah, which is why we wanted to keep a pig actually, and plus my dad had kept a pig like earlier, whenever like he was a kid. We
Yeah.
kept pigs because they're intelligent animals. They're closer to humans than like
Yeah.
a lot of other animals.
Yeah. My aunt had a pig, so I like
I was
knew,
like, yeah,
knew a
they-
pig too. Her name was Reba.
Now, I plan on obviously keeping any animal as like a pet and stuff, but it's like I don't think that they should be raised like in little cages and
Yeah,
just like.
But
as
it's okay if
they're-
they have a big cage.
I'm not saying it's like cages, but like if they live like a long and good life, then I feel like at least their body's being put to use.
So the dairy cows live longer than most of the other animals. Do you know like a percentage of their life that they get murdered?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, we have no
It's
idea.
about 25%. So if you relate that to a human, we live like 80 years old about. So that would be like killing humans when they're 20 years old.
Mhm.
So, and that's one of the animals that live the longest.
Yeah.
Like other chickens and cows for meat, it's
Yeah.
even less than that. So we're like killing babies.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of sad.
I don't think it's right, but like then again, it's also kind of like I don't like I enjoy it. That's
I
so
think
bad.
it's just been a thing for so
It's like,
long.
yeah.
And that's how
It's
our
just too
ancestors got here. And I agree with like what you're saying, but I think a lot of people are just like, yeah,
It's just an addiction
it's not a priority
and a
to them.
habit, right?
Well, I mean,
I don't say it's
wouldn't
an addiction.
addiction, no.
People eat food. But I understand both points.
Yeah.
It's just like
You got to think of it from the animal's perspective, though.
But also,
You know.
we've been doing this for like thousands of years almost. It's like, when
Does that
the
make it okay?
Native Americans did it, at least they like praise the body and use every single bit of the body, and I think like that could be a right way to do it. Yeah. Like it's
Even
not,
if we have other alternatives, you could just eat plants.
I mean, if like I had,
if that's what people grew up on,
Yeah.
yeah, like maybe, but
if like my parents raised me vegan, I think it'd be okay being vegan. But they didn't raise me vegan.
Yeah, but you're an adult, right? So you can make
Yeah,
your own
I'm-
decisions. So you don't have to ask your parents anymore.
I know.
I
I don't have to
understand
ask
if
my
you're a
parents,
kid,
but
it's
kind of like,
it's hard, but
when you're raised on it, I feel like it's hard to like slip away from it almost. It's like
Yeah.
there's so many things like that, not just eating meat.
can I give you a little bit more information? And you can check out, so you can see what happens to the animals in the different industries, or there's some resources about health. The bottom one's about religion, if you guys are religious at all.
okay, cool.
And Challenge 22, they'll actually send you recipes, and 21 days breaks a habit, right?
Yeah.
Or so 22 days breaks a habit. So they'll actually, they can hook you up with a nutritionist, and you can make sure that you're getting everything, all the iron and everything else that you need. So if you want to take a picture of that folder, you can get all that information, or if you want to take any of the other stuff around, you guys can take that too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Thanks for
I'm okay
helping,
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, well, just know when you guys choose an animal product, you're demanding that next animal in line at the slaughterhouse. So,
Thank you.
yeah. Kind of crazy. How's everybody doing? It's just like the same people in here. I see a troll there. You can eat plant-based nuggets. What's up, Gray Sky? Oh, sorry. I should have shown them the video. I'm gonna add that in as a question, like kind of at the beginning. So I've had a couple conversations, didn't have to wait too long in between, so that's good. I don't know why the chapters in my last live stream wouldn't work. But they're in the description, so if you want to watch my last live stream and like skip from one interview to the next, you can do that in the chapters in the description by clicking on the different times. But if you look at my first live, it actually like breaks the video up. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, thanks.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Great. Are you okay being in my live stream?
What do you want?
It's on my YouTube channel, so there's only like a dozen people watching.
Okay.
It's pretty new. So I just have a few questions about animals. Do you like animals?
Love animals.
How do you feel about humans exploiting animals?
Don't like it.
No. Would you want to watch a video for like 2 minutes?
Nope.
No? Okay. So do you think that, do you like animals? You want to respect animals, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that when we eat animals and we take things from them, we're respecting them?
You know, I like a good steak every so often, and that's
Right.
an animal.
Yeah. So do you know what living vegan is?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would...
I was married to a woman that was a vegan.
Right, yeah.
Didn't care to be around her too much.
So why is that? You want to elaborate a little?
Yeah, I like to eat meat.
Just- yeah. So do you think your taste is more important than the animal's life?
Good question. Don't know how to answer it.
Yeah. Do you have any pets, like a dog or cat?
Dogs.
You have dogs?
Dogs. I
Yeah.
used to have 13 llamas.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So would you agree that they all had their own personality? And
Yeah, they did.
yeah, they can feel happiness and sadness, and they can be scared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a cat can be scared. I don't like
Yeah.
cats.
What about a cow or a pig or a chicken? Do you think they can be scared, and you think they have their own personalities?
Don't know about that.
Yeah.
Because I like to eat pork.
Right.
I like to eat beef. And I like to eat chicken.
Yeah. You know how most of the pigs are processed?
They're usually shot in the head.
Right. That's what most people think, but actually they put them through a gas chamber,
Oh, okay.
so they can process multiple pigs at a time. They put like 5 or 6 in a little cage
Okay. Well, they got to do what they
and
got
lower
to
it
do.
down there.
It doesn't bother me.
So yeah, they scream and cry, and it's not humane or
No.
quick for them at all.
That doesn't upset me.
Yeah. Why not?
Because I like to eat pork and I like to eat beef, and that doesn't bother me. And
Yeah.
I grew up next to a turkey farm where
Mhm.
they would hook the turkeys and put them in a funnel, pull their heads out, and cut their
Yeah.
heads. Yeah,
Yeah,
I grew up that
That's
way.
like
I
the
grew up on a
standard
farm.
procedure. There's a chicken farm that I went and toured because I was trying to get like pasture raised chickens, the better,
Uh-huh.
better meat
Free
or
range,
whatever,
yeah.
the free range. Yeah, well, it's pasture raised, so it's even better than free range. Because free range, sometimes that just means that they're like in a shed and not in a cage, but like they don't even go outside sometimes. So you think that they're outside in the field, but a lot of times these labels are just lying to you. Like grass-fed cows, a lot of times they're still in the barn in their little cage. They don't ever leave. They just cut the grass and bring it in and feed them inside.
Well,
So-
it's a Wagyu beef aren't to get hung up.
Yeah, I know there's some special things they do in Japan. Everybody tries to say that, but it's like we're not in Japan. So it's and that's, you got to be pretty privileged if you're buying like what the Wagyu steak
Well,
that's like
my
$300
wife
a
would say to
steak
me,
or
"Why
whatever,
did
you know.
Stop and talk to him. I got to get going, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice to talk to you.
All right. Well, thanks. I hope when you eat next time, you have a second guess about eating an animal, because
Well,
there's an
and that-
individual behind
there's
that.
not going to be any problem with me cutting into a nice quarter-ounce steak.
Yeah, you can get plant-based steaks. Some of them are pretty good. Nah, you haven't had all of them though. Try a new one. Just like a regular piece of meat. You can get bad meat. You can get good meat. It's the same thing. Yeah, he wasn't having it. Did you guys like that one? Looks like there's some more people in here maybe. Welcome if you're new. I don't know is the chat working? Has nobody said anything, or is my chat frozen? Because it's still back farther. Okay, never mind. Yeah, typical reaction. He was a runner. I feel bad for his ex-wife. Yeah, chat's good. Yeah, I guess it just wasn't moving as fast as it was earlier. My first stream, it froze, so I'm like worried about it freezing again. There's like nobody. Yeah, the one guy at the beginning, I think he was holding the mic low, so maybe the audio might have been a little messed up for part of it, but these mics are pretty good unless like there's a big truck going by, and it's kind of hard. How you doing, sir? Can I ask you a few questions? I haven't seen one person go into the tap room yet. That sucks. Thanks for being here, everyone. I'm in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Jake Lagatare. Talking to people about animals. It's supposed to rain. Somebody saw me setting up and he thought I was setting up for the thunderstorm coming. So I'm probably going to go until it rains. I got my umbrella, so I might even stay a little bit, see what happens. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? How you doing? You guys like animals?
Not right now.
Oh, okay, later. Thanks, BJ. How you guys doing? Good. Can I ask you a few questions?
I'm good. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You too. They were nice and respectful. Yeah, thanks, Roy. Yeah, I'm hoping that there's not too much downtime in between the conversations. But there's a lot of people walking around. My last stream, there was a couple of moments where it was kind of dragging out. That's why I was really hoping that my chapters would work in my last stream. So it's easier to go through them, but I think if you put like certain words in the chapters, then it stops it from working. Or like certain symbols will like break the code. But I tried a lot of different things and I couldn't get it to work. So I sent YouTube a message, but I don't know if anyone's watching and also does streaming. If you know about that, or makes videos and you know about putting the chapters in there, maybe you can take a look at it and let me know. Did you guys see the Vanderhall go through earlier? It's a 3-wheeler. I saw it go by twice. But I was only streaming the one time, but I don't know if you could see it because it probably went behind the cars. But it's cool. I've seen it another time I was here too. How you doing?
Not good thing.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
You guys like animals?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a few more questions?
One more question.
Do you think we can respect animals if we eat them and take things from them?
No.
No? You okay being in my video? Can I ask you a couple more questions?
No, I don't want to.
No?
No, sorry.
All right.
Thank you.
No, when you eat your next meal, you can choose plants. I can't hear because of the truck. Goddamn truck. Ugh. I gotta watch what I say sometimes too, because I might have said something in my last stream, and I think already this stream that might stop them from like showing it, or maybe I don't know if it's the chapters aren't working, maybe because of something I said in the stream, or I don't know. Roya, I saw you found me in the Don't Die app. But you're not tracking your sleep. Do you have a device that can track your sleep? There was somebody was just asking about the cheapest one. I think it's a Fitbit. There's like an $80 Fitbit, somebody was saying. It's inexpensive and it'll track your sleep, and you don't need a subscription. And it works with the Don't Die app. So I thought that was kind of cool. How you doing, sir? Can I ask you a few questions?
What's up?
Are you okay being in my live stream? How do you like animals?
Like them. Got a dog and a cat.
Yeah. So would you agree that they have their own personalities and their own emotions?
Yeah.
Do you think we can respect animals when we're eating them and taking things from them?
Well, fine. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go, but you keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Take care.
You know, when you choose your next meal, you can choose an animal-based product or a plant-based product. And if you choose the plant-based product, you're not forcing another animal into the slaughterhouse. See, they kind of like smirk, like laugh a little bit when I say that, but then it's like, you know he's thinking about it as he's walking away. Oh, the Samsung Mosh, yeah. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? That guy's from the bank that just walked by. The bank's right behind me. They're in there like looking at me, wondering what I'm doing. I'm surprised nobody came out from the restaurant yet. The guy's seen me here a couple times. That looks like the guy I talked to the other day walking across the street. Another one of the local guys. The guy I talked to for like an hour and a half. It's like my long video. One of my most recent ones, I think, actually. Do you at least try to get 7 hours of sleep? I used to average like 6.5. And I'm trying to get my average up to 7.5. I got it up to like 7 hours, but I just wake up in the morning and it's hard for me to go back to sleep. So if I don't go to bed early enough, I don't get my time. That's why I tell people I'm a professional sleeper, because I go to bed at like 7:30. I don't actually like go to sleep then, but that's when I start like my wind down routine. And by like 8:30 or 9, I'm normally asleep. But then I get up at like 5. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? So I have to be in bed for like at least 8 to 8.5 hours to make sure that I get 7 hours of actual sleep. I'm hoping that I can get better at like my efficiency there, so I don't have to be in bed as long and I still get the sleep. But I think I gotta add more like high intense cardio, because I don't really run anymore like I used to, because I hurt my knee, and then I don't like do as much with my arms either because I hurt my shoulder. But I just do a lot of easy stuff, so I need to push myself a little bit more when I'm exercising. Trying to get my heart rate down, like my resting heart rate. That's the main thing. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
Nah, I'm alright.
So I did set up like I put my Venmo and my Cash App in the description so people can support me through those, but they only work like in the US. So when I was looking at all my analytics, it looked like 60%. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? 60% of my viewers are from the US, but 40% are from outside the US. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I created a Buy Me a Coffee page so that people can support from all over. So and they take less than YouTube. So that's why people use them. How you doing? They got their food delivered. Jesus.
What makes you take a picture? It's still processing. You must be done.
How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Can I ask you guys a few questions?
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good day. He thought about it. Yeah, you both are from the UK. That's cool. Yeah, so there was people, it said some of the countries. It was kind of interesting, but I don't remember them. There were a lot of like 1%, 2%, 1%, 2%, like 4%, 10%, something like that. So that's cool. I'm kind of a numbers guy, so I like looking at all that kind of stuff. Hopefully I can use that to help the animals. So yeah, I was kind of excited that I set that buy me a coffee thing up last night, and I just happened to be talking to my dad at the same time. So I shared it to him, and I was like, hey, check this out. And he donated $10 to me. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I didn't expect that at all. So like I got my first donation. So he's not a vegan, but I preach to him a lot, like, and he kind of gets it. How you guys doing? Can I ask you guys a few questions? But my dad doesn't make the decisions about what he eats in the house. His wife makes all the food. So like he doesn't want to tell her that like what to make. So it's like it's hard talking to him about that. But if I laid down a rule like you guys have to eat the vegan option if we go out to eat, I think they would respect that. So how you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
Ready?
How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? All right, when you come back. Are they talking about it? He's like, are we going to come back this way? We'll make sure we go the other way. I don't want to talk to that crazy vegan guy. They all look at the end speciesism sticker that I have here on the end, and the one guy was like, what is that? How you doing? Good. Can I ask you a few questions? It's too bright to keep my sunglasses off. I kind of want to have my glasses off so I can look into people's eyes when I'm talking to them, but it's also too bright out here. So maybe not. I should get the sunglasses that Mel and Steve sell. How you doing, sir?
Very well. How are you today?
Pretty good. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure can.
Oh, awesome.
I just want extremely detailed and informative answers.
That'll be perfect. Do you mind being in my live stream? It's on my YouTube. Awesome. This is your mic. You can talk into that.
Dennis Clegg.
Dennis Clegg, that's your name?
What's yours?
I'm Jacob.Lagatare. Most people call me Jake.
Jake?
Yep. So are you...
You can call me Barefoot. You can call me Lucifer. You can call me Crowley versus Yates.
Lucifer.
You can call me the nameless, faceless motherfucker that's supposed to be sitting in 666 over.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. God.
I talked to a guy the other day, and he was like, everyone's evil, the world's evil, nothing matters. Like,
the world isn't evil.
Yeah.
To the point where it can't come back.
Okay, I appreciate that. I agree.
That is what the definition of the signal controversy was. The last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
It's basically Frazzle Drip rolled up into a galactic signal that was set out around Nikola Tesla's original signals. It's fiber optic and right around it. Collected all the bad stuff. And sent it back to us.
Yeah.
As a gift. Because our computers are set on the wrong dates. Columbus, 1492, the hooked X. They knew we were here.
Right.
So our computers should be set up basically to try and start to understand the pyramids and all the Amazonian ruins.
Right.
Just try and start your computing from there and go into a future where there's no plastic. Or
Yeah, right.
you institute 420 and make everything out of hemp.
Right, yeah. More sustainable, right?
So, my friend,
What do you think about animals?
well, unfortunately, I came across a statistic the other day that said our population went from a couple billion to 3, since we discovered oil, the population has increased to the point where the earth is theoretically totally stressed out of its mind.
Yeah, I agree.
12 to 18% of the fresh water in the world is piss. The oceans are hanging in there.
Yeah, exactly. So, how do you feel about humans exploiting animals?
I believe thoroughly that in the name of Linda Moulton Howe, the History Channel, the cow mutilators, all those tests, all those experiments, all those genetic Yetis, Yeti and the Bigfoot, all that serve the purpose. But the second you recognize that ET is basically the guy standing on his tan, the other side, the Nazca lines. You know the Nazca lines?
Yeah.
You know the dudes that stand there going like that?
Yeah.
That's Evie. That's your galactic pilot.
Yeah, okay.
So if mankind in its infinite wisdom wanted to hack into every piece of DNA it could find in an attempt to create a recipient to disseminate what they were trying to do, then they are fine if they shut it down now.
Yeah.
Torturing ants. If you look at Geneva the other day, Geneva sent a bunch of kids down to wherever and tried to hump some ants through an airport back to their genetic bullshit. Why?
Huh.
Because I laid down the ant code for Chairman Xi to communicate.
Interesting.
So if you take what I'm describing is, if you're creating a piece of art, you pour molten lead down an ant colony
Yeah.
and dig it out
Yeah.
and turn it upside down. How many thousands or hundreds of years have you just wiped out? A lot.
Yeah,
They
right.
could have been digging that hole since before we were here, right? Now you take that pain signal of all those thousands of generations of ants screaming and bloody, murderous, and then amplify it and shoot it up.
Yeah.
And then you'll get their attention.
Yeah. So like that's what we do with the cows, pigs, and chickens, right? Like
Wuhan is a food distribution disease.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's a numbers game. That's why Tulsi Gabbard is my infinite and forever hero. Because she was put in a difficult position to prove that we ran out of numbers. That created the potential for a nuclear Armageddon if something slips. Now, she told everybody it was coming, and what happened? They locked her in a bargain closet for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
While they tried to figure out what's going on.
Huh. That's interesting. So, do you participate in those industries though? Because you're against it, right? You're against all the unnecessary suffering in those animal agriculture industries with the cows and the pigs and the chickens.
Yes.
Like, do you participate? Do you buy meat and
in
those
fact,
products?
when I was 18 years old, I came out of high school and learned what methamphetamine was all about. And I worked second shift at Muir Packing. And I learned how to sharpen a knife and tear a cow apart.
Yeah.
And then after 20 years or so, I went back to the rendering plant where they took the bones and the blood and ground it up.
Yeah.
And used augers to move stuff around like Archimedes. So I know the footage.
Yeah. You want to tell me a little bit about that? And can you speak into the mic a little bit more so the audio is a little bit better, maybe?
Here, okay.
Yeah, sure. I like your staff. That's cool.
Ancient magic.
I like the feather.
So Wuhan was and is continuing, although I ate the time, it's a food distribution issue. So again, our population exploded in the last 120 years to the point where you're mass producing everything. So that's why the Georgia Guidestones wanted to cull the population drastically really quick. So that's why we're at war with Canada.
Yeah.
Because Canada controls the cow herd. Now, do we have to eat meat? No.
Right.
Don't have to eat meat.
Yeah.
But if you're on a boat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and you get hungry and you have to shoot one of the three, you're going to eat.
Yeah, I agree with that. But now we just shop at a grocery store, so you can pick the animal products that we know has like suffering and abuse behind it, or we can pick the plant-based products and we know that we're not forcing an animal into a slaughterhouse.
Describe to me, in the name of Michelle Obama, what food distribution looks like in Center City, America. Looks like orange soda and chips to me.
Like if we stopped eating meat?
No, what I'm saying is if you wanted to follow your path to a better health, the black man and the underprivileged has no shot because they don't have. Well, do you think downtown Philadelphia has the availability of fresh fruits cheap? No.
Fruits aren't the cheapest, but grains normally are the cheapest. So grains and legumes, nuts and
GMO grains,
nuts and seeds.
GMO grains.
Genetically
modified.
The animals are genetically modified. So you can get organic stuff that's not as modified or has less pesticides, but
it is, my friend. You stumbled across.
It's the same thing with the meat.
You stumbled across nirvana, my friend, because over the last weekend during the reenactment and the refighting of the Civil War, we instituted a new political
I know, right?
institution. Now, I called it, and I intend to call it the Independence Party. Independence. Now, 2 days after I threw that one out there, that fucking South American pumpernickel Elon Musk declared his own political party called the America Party.
Yeah, the American Party, yeah.
So what does a thinking man do? He says, we'll call it the America Independence Party.
Yeah.
And I'll steal every penny that fucking guy got.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's pretty interesting. A lot of things are changing now.
I'm generous and I understand how this freaking globe works. You make Tulsi Gabbard Queen of Samoa, America Samoa. And whatever Ghislaine Maxwell and her fucking submarine force was going to do in the name of Assad and that tariff thing, they all had sub-licenses, right? Ghislaine Maxwell, that's what they were doing then.
Yeah.
So you put Bibi Netanyahu and his genocidal race in a hole, and you take whatever they thought they were going to do underneath the water, you put it in America Samoa.
So let's get back to the animals. Like, do you think it's wrong for the animals the way we're treating them, right? So what's stopping you from living vegan? Why are you still participating in those industries if you know that they're doing things that you don't agree with?
Well, I don't know. Describe the teeth in your head. You got incisors, you got molars, and you got,
Yeah, they're good for eating plants.
And the pointy ones are good from ripping flesh off bones too. But I agree with you.
Not that much. Not like a
done.
Carnivore.
Although I firmly believe poultry and fish, I think, are fine.
So if you
chickens are dinosaurs, right?
I mean, they're still an animal, right? They have their own experiences.
Chickens are dinosaurs. Well, they say. What did what's his face say before he shot his head off with a shotgun? Fish feel no pain from Nirvana. But
that's not true. We know fish feel pain.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
So do we.
Right. So that's why
plants.
That's why we show each other a base level of
respect. Plants feel pain when you harvest them?
So plants don't feel pain.
Oh.
And we know that.
Oh, okay.
That's a fact because they don't have a brain or a central nervous system.
Ow. All right.
So that's where your pain comes from.
How about when a high intensity, high tech energy device bends the nodes of wheat in an English field and makes a crop circle.
What does that have to do with farming animals?
Nothing, but I'm talking about inflicting pain on plants. There's an entity or there's a power structure out there that has the ability to bend over wheat and make pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
do you deny that? Do you agree?
I mean,
do you think crop circles
maybe,
are real?
But I think that I don't think that justifies eating animals or taking things from them.
Well, maybe if we understand who made the crop circles,
yeah,
we could learn to get away from harvesting meat.
Yeah, maybe.
The two maybe go together.
I think one of the big steps is going to be with AI. With AI,
yeah,
I think that'll be one of the next big steps. I think in the future, I hope we can communicate with animals like better, like on another level. So, what do you think about that? Do you think that could be something in the future? Where we could talk to animals?
I firmly believe, until I'm proven otherwise, that the moon was more or less the original Earth. The moon penetrated our solar system and sent up the calendar which proves women. And that is 13 months, 28-day cycle.
Yeah.
13 months, 28 days. That's the turtle. That's the turtle shell. They're mostly all the same on the back. 1 day left over to adjust time.
Yeah.
So animals, an octopus, you can rip off half of its limbs and it'll still outstink you.
Yeah, they have like a brain in each arm or something like that.
So
it's like
if
they
I'm
can
king
probably
of the world,
experience.
given the choice between mankind and the earth, I'll blow the shit out of mankind.
Yeah, we're one of the most like damaging species to the planet. But I don't think
the most powerful mechanism ever created was the human brain.
I don't think that even though we're not good for the planet, that justifies taking people out, though. You know what I mean? So I think we should respect all animals, including people, right?
How many?
To an extent.
How many ETs do you think are out there?
I don't know. I just want to stay focused on the animals, though. So, why?
That is their focus. ET's ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And ultimate focus is taking care of the animals. It's not taking care of us.
Yeah. We're before the
so
problem.
How many do you think are out there?
So
if there's a planet,
that's why you should be vegan.
Sand. Okay, but the question stands. You're not thinking deep enough, my friend. How many ETs are out there knowing that they buzzed the lighthouse in 52? Knowing that they had portals back in the pyramid days? Knowing that when you look through LiDAR at the ancient ruins in South America, it looks just like a computer chip. So that same computer chip was probably here 20,000 years ago. So how many ETs do you think are out there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do
you think they'd show us mercy, though, if we were vegan?
Huh?
You think they'd show us mercy if we were vegan? Or do you think they would treat us the way we treat animals?
I mean, to kill a whale or a dolphin's a sin. My cousin was in the Navy and he worked with dolphins back 30 years ago. Now, I know what he was doing back then was self-defense, trying to track submarines and shit.
Yeah.
Which is why in today's world, there's entirely too many submarines and too much bullshit underneath the water. So, ET's going to come home with that signal and pick somebody and tell the freaking world just exactly what you're saying. Clean it up.
Yeah.
Or we'll clean it up for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we're smart people, and I think some of us are figuring that out. So we should take the steps to clean it up now, because you can change right now and live vegan and stop supporting animal abuse.
So what possessed you? Suffering. Did you hear a voice from God to come out here today and set this up?
My cat told me. Yeah, you want me to be honest with you?
What?
Yeah, my cat and all the other animals that I've met in my whole life.
There's an island off the coast of England that an intergalactic message interrupted the television show back in the 60s, early 70s. That says we are the intergalactic representatives here.
Yeah.
And what did the King of England do with it? He sat on it. Why? Why did the King of England not explain crop circles and what's going on? Why? Jimmy Savile. Who's Jimmy Savile? One of the greatest pedophiles ever. So the whole monarchy, who's supposed to support and represent 130 nations, they're all civilian. That's why Prince Andrew's sitting in his hole with sweaty hands.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, so it sounds like you want to be vegan from now on. So take a picture of my folder here.
I'll do that.
You can get some more information.
I
You can
will
check
take a
out
picture
my channel.
because
You can see your
just like
our
Steve
conversation
Austin,
back.
I am tied in with everything. So watch Dominion.org, challenge22.com.
Yeah, these will show you about what
Health
happens in
film,
the industry.
Game
These are
Changers
about
movie,
health.
Christ
religion.
Conspiracy.
Challenge 22 will give you information and help you live vegan every day.
Hey man,
How you doing, man?
anything good today?
Little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
this guy was
Very
very
good.
interesting. It was nice to meet you. What was your name?
Dennis Clegg.
Dennis Clegg, yep.
Serial number 194582030. Alien intelligence coming in hot, reporting for duty. Thank you very much. This is supposed to go to Tulsi Gabbard so that I can thoroughly molest her, at least in my house.
Here, you want a water too?
No, that's plastic.
You sure? Oh, I know. That's what I thought when I got them too. I'm like, microplastics, but
Breakfast, right?
But if it's microplastics or like passing out in the hot heat, I think somebody might appreciate the water, you know?
Well, no, your thought process is right, but you gotta get all those patents that vanished on that JAL flight. All those patents, those guys were the smartest men in the world.
Right, yeah.
Put on that plane and
Yeah,
San Diego Coast. It's bacon and milk, right? Orange juice.
yeah. What? So orange juice. How you been doing? Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, what'd you guys think about that guy? He was a little out there. He had some ideas. Yeah, I got my mic back. I thought it was. I traded him for the staff. Can you go lay down after that? Yeah, he was kind of going off on some things. Use the force. Yeah, the staff was funny. That was cool. I think I've seen him walking around before with that staff.
Have your leather on.
Yeah, right. He was abducted by ETs, yeah, 100%. Yeah, ants. Something about... I've seen those videos where the guy like pours the metal, the liquid metal down the ant hole and like digs it out. Yeah, that was definitely a crazy conversation.
State building.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Huh?
I don't know if it is exactly or not, but it does look like it. That's what I thought.
But I wasn't sure the Empire State Building has that.
Somebody got it for me, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there a couple times too. Not in a long time.
People everywhere, that's for sure. All kinds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I've seen a lot of people today that I've talked to before. There's a guy sitting over here. You guys can't see him, but I talked to him. Actually, we talked before when I was setting up last time.
What's up?
We talked last time when I was setting up. So I'm actually live now. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
Good to see you're up here again.
Yeah, thanks.
Put it down on pavement, right, man?
Huh?
Put it down on pavement, right, man?
Yeah.
Skateboard. Skate?
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore. Hey, I'm 47.
I have an electric scooter. So that's how I get around most. How you ladies doing?
Did you ever see the mini chopper bikes?
Yeah, my roommate is trying to build a little electric, like,
Chopper.
little like speed bike. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? How you doing?
How are you?
Good. Can I ask you a few questions? Are you okay being in my video?
Sure.
Here's a mic if you want to talk into that, and it'll help with the audio.
All right.
So, I'm Jake. I'm from around here. Are you local at all?
No, we're from around Altoona.
Oh, cool. So, how do you feel about animals?
I have 3 dogs.
Yeah.
And a bearded dragon.
Oh, that's cool. I used to have a leopard gecko.
Oh, yeah.
So, would you agree that your pets have their own personalities and
yeah.
they can feel emotions? And,
Yep.
yeah. How do you feel about humans exploiting animals?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about it, you know? Do you think that we can respect animals if we're eating them and taking things from them?
Yeah.
Yeah? Even their life?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm a hunter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how do you think you can respect an animal and still kill them? Can you explain it?
Because that's what God gave us animals for.
Okay. You want to elaborate on that a little bit more? Like, do you think there's certain animals that he gave us to use like certain ways, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he rode on a donkey, so obviously donkeys are used for work purposes and riding, same as horses.
But you don't ride a horse, right? You drive a car.
I do ride horses, or I have rode
But
horses.
how'd you get here today?
Drive a car.
Did you ride a horse?
No, that's too far of a
So you're gonna ride a horse home?
No.
Like, yeah. So, you know, what with some of these things, we have other alternatives, and they're better. Like, right? So there's no reason to use a horse anymore for transportation because we have a car.
I mean, yeah.
So do you think when it comes to like cows and pigs and chickens, when we're forcing them through the slaughterhouse, but we could just eat a plant-based diet, do you think that that's justified? Do you think that's okay?
I mean, I think it's okay.
Just because
That's what we're human. We're supposed to eat meat.
we don't have to. We can, but we don't have to.
Nah, because I don't think I can handle being on a plant-based diet.
Why not? Do you think like we wouldn't? What would stop you? Just your taste?
It's good for your body.
Yeah, I mean, if you can eat an unhealthy diet if you're vegan, but you can also eat an unhealthy diet if you're eating animal products too, right?
Yeah, it depends on what they're mixed with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go to Walmart and buy a steak because they've got hormones and stuff all through them.
Right, yeah.
To a hometown butcher shop.
Right. So if you found out that you could not only survive but thrive on a plant-based diet, what would stop you? Like, even if like if the taste was just as good or similar, is there any other reason?
Nah.
No. Yeah. So you want to respect animals, right? So, like, do you know the definition of living vegan? Being vegan?
Nah.
There's something around, bud.
It's good to see you, man. So, if you live vegan, it includes like a plant-based diet, right? But living vegan it's a stance against exploiting animals and using them for our benefit. So I think it's the best way to respect animals. If you want to respect animals, I think we should just leave them alone. And when you're buying those animal products, you're forcing another animal through a slaughterhouse. So if you were in their position, how fast would you want things to change from their perspective?
I don't know. I don't think like an animal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would agree we're animals, right?
Well, yeah.
We're just different.
Just part of a food chain.
Chain, like, do you say that, like, do you think we're better than other animals?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
we're
but I
above
mean,
them?
Yeah. Not all of them.
Right, not all of them.
Because there's some that's out there that's going to kill you.
Yeah. So it's not really like a food chain. It's kind of like a food web. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So if you were in their position, I would assume you would want it to change pretty quickly, right? I got one more question for you. How many more animals should be oppressed for you, exploited, and have something taken away from them, even their life? Like,
As long as it feeds my family and myself.
Like, should it be more than 0? Do you really feel like it doesn't matter? Even though like those animals are their own individuals, they have their own personalities, and each individual. You think there's a big difference between a cow and a dog?
Well, we're not going to eat dogs.
Why though? Like,
I don't know. Other countries do.
Right.
Probably because of USDA standards.
Yeah. So I mean, like, there's no real difference. Just like kind of what we're used to. So I mean, you could get used to just eating plants, right, and respecting animals.
Nah, I'm not interested.
No.
Nah.
So you want to respect animals, but then you realize you're disrespecting them when you eat them. So do you see how that's hypocritical?
Yeah, but I mean, that's been going on for thousands of years.
Right. But just because we've been doing something for a long time, does that make it right? Is there other things that we've done for a long time that
they were put here for a purpose?
Yeah.
Some animals were put here for a purpose.
Have we ever said that about other things that we did in the past that were not good, and we stopped doing them, and now we know better?
Not really, because it looks like this country has didn't really learn this lesson 250 years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, you know where I'm going. Like, we're humans. We're intelligent, right? We're one of the smartest species on the planet. So I think we should use our brains a little bit more, and instead of like just relying on our instincts. Because our instincts tell us to eat animals, right? But our instincts also tell us to like yell and argue and fight with people. But we can sit down and have conversations instead of like fighting with our hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we've learned better, and I think that the way that we treat these animals, even in a good farm, when we're bringing them in and taking them out for our benefit, it's disrespectful, I think. So if you want to respect animals, I'll say the same thing I said earlier. The best way to respect them, I think, is just leave them alone. So
yeah.
So just remember that you're just disrespecting them when you're buying them, and you're demanding every time you buy an animal product, you're forcing another animal in the slaughterhouse. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I hope you make a change. Go to some farms and go meet some cows and pigs, and maybe it'll change your mind, because they're all their own individual. You know, they don't want to die. Their life is everything to them, just like your life is everything to you, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to take that from them. How would Jesus slaughter an animal? Something to think about, you know? Yeah, but he ate plants. What'd you guys think about that one? See you, Gray, if you're still here. Vegan Heretic, hello. An Honest Doubter, hello.
Yeah.
How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Are you okay being on my live stream? No? Do you like animals? No? Do you think we can respect animals when we eat them? Take things from them? Yeah? How so? Do you think it would be respectful if we took something from you, like we do to the animals, you know? When you choose animal products, you're forcing another animal in the slaughterhouse. That young boy was thinking about it. His mom's like, no, don't talk to that crazy vegan. That's happened a couple of times. I'll say, hey, do you guys like animals? And the kid will stop and be like, yeah, of course. And the parent will look over and see the stuff, and they'll be like, oh, no, not this guy. A severe weather alert. Yeah, thanks. That's what I'm doing. Like, I'm trying to be a little louder. Like, I don't mind kind of talking to people as they go by. It's just so hard to hear with the trucks and the motorcycles. There's an event going on at the Harley place down the, like right outside of town. So there's probably going to be a lot of motorcycles today and like this weekend. But the damn trucks, there's so many big trucks that go through here. It's kind of crazy. It's the middle of town, and I wouldn't expect that much traffic from these giant trucks. Like, there's a crane. There's a big crane coming through right now. There's 3 big trucks in the square at the same time. They moved like that big ass greenhouse or something through here. I think I was setting up. Maybe it wasn't streaming yet, but it was like kind of like a silo type, or like, I don't know if you call that a silo. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? But it was like a wide load, and it barely came through. It like took up half the circle. It's just truck after truck. There's a smaller one, and then there's another smaller one. You need to make a bypass around the town. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Can I ask you guys a few questions?
Okay, thank you, though.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
What happened?
How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Can I ask you a few questions? Okay. Oh, there's the meter checker, meter reader. The meter reader. I forget his name. Did any of you guys see the video with him? It was just a short, I think. How you doing?
Hi, great.
Can I ask you a few questions? I forget his name. Pretty sure he told me. I think he said something about his pet too, maybe, but I don't remember. I try to remember people's names when they say that they want to change. And there was a guy named Cody that I talked to, and it was one of I made a short. It didn't get that many views, and it was like one of my best conversations. It was really short, and it was just really good. And he was super open, and he took information, and I saw him again another day at where he works, actually, and he said he made a change. He said he wasn't fully vegan, but he was making changes and looking into it more. And then I just saw him again when I was setting up, and he really liked that I remembered his name. But he said he greatly reduced, but he still was eating eggs, and I think he said maybe cheese. But he said he was having trouble with eggs and I think like he said as a binding agent for his eggs as a binding agent. And I told him use flaxseed, and he wasn't aware of that as a substitute. So he was like, "Thank you, I'm gonna go do that." Like, so hopefully he tries that out, likes the outcome, removes eggs. Next time I see him, hopefully he'll join the chapter. He can come out here and I want to do some cubes and some diamonds, and I want to do the 3-minute movie challenge. So there's a beef jerky place right across the street. Let's see, I can move it if you guys want to look. There's a beef jerky place right over there across the street. I think I'm going to set up over there one day and give out like plant-based jerky. I thought that would be a good idea. How's it going? Can I ask you a few questions? All right. Are you okay being in my stream? All right, you can use that. You want to talk into that? How do you feel about animals?
Good.
Yeah, you like animals?
Yeah, what kind?
Like, what comes to mind? Do you have any pets?
Dogs, cats.
Yeah. So would you agree that they have their own personalities and they can feel emotions, right?
Oh, sure.
They're happy and sad. And how do you feel about farm animals or animals that we exploit?
I mean, it's kind of like the law of life.
Right. Does it have to be though? Like,
I mean, no, not necessarily, but everyone's preference.
Yeah. So what do you think the animal's preference is?
Not to be killed,
right?
Or processed.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about living vegan before? You know what the definition of living vegan is?
Isn't it like vegetable-based meat products, like patties and shit?
Yeah, plants.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of it. It's more than just a diet though. When you live vegan, it's just rejecting the exploitation of those animals. So it includes the diet, but then it also is like fur and leather for clothing or like other bath and beauty products that they use stuff from animals or they test on animals, things like that. So it's just trying to be more conscious about where things are coming from that you buy. So if you think about it from the perspective of the animal, like how fast would you want things to stop?
Almost immediately, probably from what the animals are thinking.
Right, yeah. Each one's their own individual. So like they're constantly going through the slaughterhouse, you know? It's kind of crazy if you actually look at the numbers that we like process these animals, it would blew my mind. So if you sound like you want to respect animals, right? But then when we're eating them, it's kind of disrespectful. So, you know, the number one benefit when you're vegan, it's you stop becoming a hypocrite. So you can align your actions with how you feel.
Never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, me neither. And I was like, you know, I feel like if we realize we're doing something hypocritical, then we should probably try to change that, right? You know? So yeah, I love animals. I wanted to respect animals, so I thought the best way to do that is just to leave them alone.
Yeah,
so I stopped eating them. So yeah, I mean, I got one more question for you. How many more animals should be exploited for you? Should it be more than 0?
No.
Yeah. So you're gonna live vegan from now on?
I might try it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
All right. That's awesome. There's some more information here. If you want to take anything here, you can. Except this folder, you can take a picture. That's my channel. So I'm streaming now, and all these resources, you can check them out. Some are on like YouTube, Netflix, or Amazon. They're about different things. Yeah, definitely. You can take 1 or 2 if you want. But yeah, check it out.
Hey, guys, good talking to you, man.
Yeah, what was your name?
Zach.
Zach, I'm Jake. So nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too. Have a good one.
You too. That was great. It was exactly like that. I was just talking about having a good conversation with another guy, and man, that was perfect. Yeah, thanks, Heretic. Your support. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Awesome. Are you okay being in my video?
We don't really want to do a video now.
Okay, well, you can stand over here if you want to be off at least. Can I still ask you a few questions?
Sure, what's up?
Do you guys like animals?
Do, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys eat animals?
Do, yeah.
Yeah. I used to. Do you think that when we're eating them and we're taking things from them, we're respecting them?
In a way.
Yeah? Can you explain, like, how can we respect them if we're taking things from them?
I think if we're using them appropriately and not taking advantage, but kind of using everything that's involved with them, then we're doing that more in a respectful way. But if you're just being wasteful and killing for no reason, then that's when I think the problem's there.
Right. So if you found out that you could survive and thrive just eating plants and eating animals was unnecessary, what would justify you to continue to do that?
I mean, I do both.
Yeah. So do you think that when you're eating an animal product, there's a victim behind that, right? So when you eat meat or dairy or eggs, an animal's going to die for that. So do you think we should give that a second thought and maybe just choose the plant-based option instead, since there's no...
I mean, I still see it as both ways.
Yeah, you don't think there's a difference between...
There's
like
definitely a difference.
Cutting a cow's throat or like chopping a carrot? Think there's a difference there?
There's definitely a difference there.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's still kind of what you're using it for. If you're being wasteful, that's where I see the problem more than how you're
but
doing it.
if you could eat plants, then isn't it kind of wasteful to just eat the animal at all?
I don't think it's wasteful if you're taking your time with it and you're kind of giving it the respects that it needs.
So most of those animals, we take them out at a fraction of their life. So it's not like, we would like to think that they have a happy, full life and they pass at like an old age, but it's not. We take them out like at a fraction. Some just like 1% of their life. Some that live the longest, it's only like 25% of their life.
Fair.
So it's like, do you think is that really respectful, or is that like humane when it would be like ending people at like 20 years old, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if we did the same things to humans, not one would live past that long.
Yeah.
Most of them would be processed like probably like 1 or 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Like
true, yeah.
like babies. So, I mean, if you want to respect animals, what's stopping you from living vegan besides like
nothing?
You know, really? Like, yeah. Would you want to give it a try, maybe?
Nah, I'm okay though.
No?
Nah, I appreciate it.
If you were in that position of the animal, how fast would you want things to stop?
Hard to say. I'm not in their position.
Yeah, but you can kind of put yourself in their position, right? That's like that's one of our things we're good at as humans, is just like being able to realize that, you know, other humans can feel pain. Like, I don't know, like if I kicked you in the shin or if you kicked me in the shin, like I don't know exactly how much that would hurt you, or you don't know how much that would hurt me. But I think like we know, we can tell that, you know, that would hurt each other, and we know that we shouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
So like, should we also consider that with the animal?
Be respectful and making sure you do things right. I don't think there's that big of a problem as long as they're obviously given their respects.
So like, if we did it with humans again, like if we brought them into life for our benefit, right? But we gave them like a really big house and like, you know, whatever freedoms they wanted during their life, but then we took them out, like I said, like anywhere from like a little kid to like 20 years old.
Right.
Is that really respectful? Like,
hard to say. I don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't really say what the process is behind it.
But you support it, right? You know, when you're buying those products, you're supporting those industries. So
certain ones,
you're responsible.
We have farmers in the family, so it's kind of...
Yeah. You can just farm plants though, right?
I do both.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's enough space to, theoretically, if every person were to go vegan.
Okay.
So,
I don't know that there's enough space to farm all that stuff and feed everyone to the fullest.
what do you think the animals eat?
Grass. I'm not eating grass.
Yeah, they eat plants. So a lot of soy, a lot of corn, a lot of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So most of the plants actually get fed to the animals.
Yeah.
So if there were less animals, we'd actually have more food.
Essentially.
I can see that.
But also depends on what animals you're talking about.
Yeah, it's cows, pigs, and chickens, you know?
Right.
So,
the chickens aren't really taking my feed source. In terms of dairy that's milk, we're not really killing the cows for the milk.
Right, the dairy cows, they don't kill them to produce the milk.
Right.
But they
say dairy is killing the animals.
Right, in the standard procedures. So, why do you think they produce milk in the first place?
Right.
They have to have a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think happens to that baby?
They can raise it, and most dairy farms turn those back into dairy cows.
Yeah, the females, right? Because only the females can produce milk.
Right.
The males, they don't produce milk, and they're not the right breed for meat, so they don't grow very fast like the meat cows. So they just send them off for veal.
Right.
So when you're supporting the dairy industry, it's actually sexist because they decide on what to do with them based on their sex.
I see.
So yeah, the male dairy cows they die right when they're born. There's the same things with the chickens too in the egg industry.
Right.
The male chickens, they don't produce eggs, so they die on like the first day of life. So choose the plant-based products and you don't have to support that oppression. At least he was willing to stop and talk for a minute. Yeah, that guy I talked to the other day, he was like, I have no empathy. Like, he was really weird. It's like, I understand it. I was kind of like that too. It's like, why do things that are right? Just me, I'm not gonna make a difference, you know? How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? It's not that hard to just be a good person. I think since I've been living vegan the last year, my life's gotten a lot easier. So how long has everybody been vegan? Everybody that's watching right now. What's up, Mobius? What's up, Neil? I don't think I said hi to you yet. What's up, Brett? I said hi to you either. There's less people. They didn't want to be on camera. That's why they were all off. Thanks for all the likes, guys. I got more likes in this video already than my last two when I was live, so that's really cool. Yeah, I hope a lot of these people like reflect on what they said, like when they walk away, because some of them do sound pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly. What's stopping you? Nothing. Want to try it? Nah. That was kind of crazy. And the guy before him was like the totally opposite. Like, you want to try it? He was like, yeah, sure, I think I will. Like, so that was great.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Hey, I'm sorry.
How you doing?
Everybody walking about, I'm doing good. Everybody talking about the one you're like, where's that guy to us again? So can you tell me what you're doing?
Sure, I'm just talking to people, asking them a few questions. Can I ask you a few questions? Do you want to be in my video?
I do not want to be in the video. So ask questions about what?
About animals.
Like animal rights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do you like animals?
I do. What are you doing with the video?
It's just my live stream. It's on YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
It's for my YouTube channel. It's right there. If you want to check it out, it's my name.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, watch some of those resources. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the lady from the bank. I was waiting for them to come out and ask me. Another lady in there. How you doing? I must ask that guy again. That was the guy I just talked to. How you doing? Good. Could I ask you a few questions? All right, when you come back. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Man, that guy looks like a guy I used to work with. It's not him, but he just kind of looks like him. Like at first glance, I thought it was him. That would have been really funny if I saw him out here. But that guy, the other guy that walked by that way, I think he's with that person that had the dog. So maybe he will talk to her about it and spread the message a little bit. I wonder if he was local too. He looked like he might have been. So if he is, I might see him around again. Most people that come here that visit are older. I think the stats are like, most people that visit here are like in their 50s. But there's a college right down the road too. So there is like a whole college scene and a younger crowd that's local. $50 years? That's crazy. Oh, cool. You guys posted all that in there. I can see now. 2008, 17, 9 years, 17, 10 years. Wow. Yeah, I'm super late. That's what makes me upset sometimes. I've only been vegan for a year. Yeah, that was really cool. In the hangout the other night, I was surprised that so many organizers were new and really big cities, like really big cities. I'm surprised they didn't already have organizers there. But that's cool. And the one girl's from Philly, which is close. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
Oh, we're good. We're heading out.
Have a good day. Yeah, so if I can get a little group together here and then they want to do like a big event in Philly, I can probably try to bring the group out to Philly and do something really big out there. That would be really cool. Yeah, I'm happy that I didn't like stay like in a vegetarian phase. It was like a month. I stopped eating meat and I still ate eggs and some stuff that had milk in it. Maybe like a little bit of cheese. But yeah, it was just like a month later and I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. It was just, started looking into more stuff. And the more you learn about it, it's just like, if you already had those kinds of feelings, the more you learn, the more you're just like, this is insane. And and that's why I'm out here. So there was a person in my like family circle that was vegan, but she was like not very open about it. And there would always be like a vegan dish at a lot of the get-togethers, and nobody else would like eat it, and I would always try it and eat it, and it was always really good. And I wish that she talked to me about me living vegan, and she's just like, she's not that kind of person that like I don't know, that like talked about it. But I feel like I would have been vegan sooner if somebody seriously talked to me about it, and that's why I'm out here, because I feel like I can hopefully do that for some other people. If I can have one good conversation each day I come out here, then I'm happy. That's my goal. And a lot of times, actually, I've been having good conversations before I even get my live stream set up. So it's kind of crazy that I do this too, because I'm not a very outgoing person. What's up, Chip? Yeah, long story. Camera shy, yeah, what, me? I don't know. I mean, I used to be more shy talking to people or talking to crowds, but I just did it. I just put myself out there and did it more, and then now I'm a little bit more used to it. But sometimes my brain works too fast, a little faster than my mouth sometimes, so I'll like stutter or stumble my words sometimes. It's a little embarrassing to try to work on that, but I'm using the camera on the back of my phone so I can see the chat from behind it. So I'm not like don't have my face at the screen. That way I can see people when they're walking by. My first stream, I had my back turned to where people were coming and I was trying to read the chat and people were like walking by me while I was looking at the chat. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? All right, when you come back. How you doing? Can I ask you guys a few questions? Yeah, there hasn't been too much time in between the conversations yet, so that's been pretty decent. It's nice that it's a little cloudy too, blocking the sun. But it's supposed to rain in like maybe an hour. It's supposed to be some like heavy thunderstorms. So I'm gonna try to see if I can last until then. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? On his bike. Look at this guy. He just picked up some food. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Just to get you to think a little bit.
I'm pretty sure people know my own voice.
What's that?
I'll listen to your voice. What's up?
You'll listen?
What's up?
Are you okay being in my video?
Sure, no problem. Good.
All right, you want to step over here a little bit more? Awesome, thank you. So how do you feel about animals?
Tastes good, too.
Yeah, they taste good?
What would you like to know about them?
Well, like, what's the first animal that comes to mind?
Honestly, but in this town, birds.
Birds? Yeah, you like birds?
Yeah, I do. I just feed them as much as I can.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay. So how do you feel about the animals that we exploit? Like, how do you feel about chickens?
Well, people need to eat.
Do you think we could just eat plants though?
No, because we can't eat plants, but we won't survive off of that way. It's been shown time and again that our bodies will start to break down and try to substitute like our fat, our muscles, and other things in order to survive.
Huh. Would you be open to being wrong about that?
That depends on how far it goes.
So, I mean, from the claim you just made, then that means that there shouldn't be any vegans, right? Because vegans don't eat any animal products. So that would be like impossible.
Well, they say that, but some of them do tend to not fully go 100%. For instance, there's a bodybuilder who says he's a vegan, but he takes protein powder, right? But that thing contains a whole lot of animal byproducts.
There are protein powders that are made from plants.
Even so. But many of the stuff that even so, doesn't matter. It's the same way. You can have like protein powder that's made from fish, cow, pig. It's all the same, just the same. And as you do get ones from plants, it's not really going to be the best quality because this guy's a bodybuilder. He wants to get jacked as much as he can.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a slight difference, but there's not that much of a difference. So, I mean, if you think about it from the perspective of the animal, do you think that what would you say they're thinking?
It's a natural order, just how it is. After all, humans get eaten by animals all the time. Like down in Brazil.
All the time?
Not all the time, but plenty of times. Down in Brazil, they cut open an anaconda. There was a man's just whole body preserved inside the anaconda.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he probably was somewhere he shouldn't have been, maybe.
Well, he lives in that area. That just happens.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's just a small incident, like a one-off thing. Like, how does that justify how we treat the other animals, though?
It's survival.
You know? It's just survival?
Yes, we eat cows, chickens, and other things. And we've been doing that since we were cavemen. As a matter of fact, if we had any cooked food back then, we wouldn't have evolved to what we are now.
Right, yeah, cooked food. It's funny you mentioned that. So it was actually grains that they cooked that changed our brains. It wasn't actually meat. When I did more research,
Or the brain, but the body.
That's what I found out.
That's how we got denser bones, harder cartilage, and thicker muscles because of it.
Taking it from the animals. Do you think it's okay to take that from the animals, though?
Yeah.
Like, we could get that from plants, though.
Either way, it's the same thing.
You don't think there's a difference between a plant and an animal?
I know that maybe on a species scale, but when you take things from certain things, it's just how the universe works.
Right.
The universe takes things from us as well. When we die, our bodies break down and make newer cells, and and insects eat those.
True, but we normally just die of like old age or like some other.
Well, animals die of old age too.
Not the farm animals though, right? Because would you agree that we kill those animals?
Of course we do.
Yeah, so they're not actually like dying; we're killing them. Is there a difference there?
No, we all die.
No, but we take them out like at a fraction of their life. Do you think that makes a difference?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they can feel things, whether it's as much as us or not. They still have emotions and feelings, and
depends on how they approach it. Have you ever seen a dog that's rabid? How they get wild and they bite people?
Right.
Well, their emotions are way up here. But usually pets that have been domesticated are down here. It's because we domesticate these animals to be calm and friendly. But when you're brought up to here, that's when your natural instincts kick in. It's the same thing with humans.
Yeah, even the domesticated animals, though, they can still be happy and sad, even though they don't get like aggressive and mean. They still cry and they still can experience fear. Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, of course. So
yeah,
everything we all humans feel the same way too. So we should.
Yeah, right. That's why we respect other humans, right? Because I know you I mean, when we walk down the street, if you punch somebody in the face, they would feel it, So you to that extent, you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you. So we don't
do it anyway.
We don't do that to other. Yeah, but you don't. You're not going around punching people in the face. You know what I mean? For no reason, just because you can. You know what I mean? I can make a fist and punch somebody, but that doesn't mean that I should, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of the same with animals. We do worse than punching them. We kill them and cut them up into little pieces.
Well, animals do worse actually.
But we're not animals though, aren't we? Can't we? Well, I mean, like,
we're part of the same
but
ecosystem.
should we lower ourselves down to other animals and just work
No.
off of our instincts, or should we
No,
we use our brains a little bit more and make smarter decisions that affect other animals?
No, we're in the same way. We're on different wavelengths. You can't lower yourself or higher yourself to a certain degree. You only play the card that you're handed with. People
Right.
Look at certain, like for instance.
I agree with that, but why are we taking it from the animals, though, right? Because to them, their life is everything. So what gives us a right to take their life from them?
Natural order.
But nowadays we could just eat plants, so it's not necessary anymore.
You say that, but hey, bugs eat plants too. We're taking their food away. Does that mean the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, they can go find other plants. I can defend my plants to an extent, but that doesn't mean you don't have to kill bugs to grow your plants. You can,
Are you sure? Have you seen the farmers? They use pesticides and everything. They kill thousands and thousands of bugs a day.
Yeah, but they're not vegan farmers. So if those farmers were vegan, they would probably use other methods instead of just killing them.
Technically, ranchers are meat. Farmers are plants.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, what do all the animals eat?
Like what animals eat other animals? Everything. Look
No,
at
I mean
fish.
like the domesticated animals, like cows and pigs and chickens. Like they mostly eat plants, right?
No, they mostly eat other animals. If you buy a can from the supermarket, that's made with animals. And guess what? They came from the supermarket too. They go to a butcher block or butcher store, whatever you call it. They take all the chopped up meat that doesn't get bought or used. They take it to these food places. They grind it up. They repackage it to make cat food.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, do you see any problem with that, or you just like
No.
you're just happy with it?
No, you just can't waste meat.
Yeah, but we don't need the meat to begin with, though. So
That's what they say, but I don't. But when I say I don't buy it, I don't 100%. Because even though people take people like Justin Bieber, who side with PETA, it says ink, not make. That doesn't make any sense. Because first of all, tattooing contains a lot of animal byproducts, and yet they say it's not okay to wear fur, but it's okay to plaster it onto your skin. You see how hypocritical that is?
Yeah, there are vegan tattoos, though.
Yeah, but they don't use them. Vegan
I don't know. Maybe he got his tattoos before he was vegan.
Either way, irrelevant. If he did get his tattoos before becoming vegan, they should have them surgery removed.
Well, I mean,
if you're going to be vegan, you have to be 100% all the way. Let me explain.
Yeah, I mean, it means so like the definition of living vegan is to reject the exploitation of animals as much as possible. So if you got a not vegan tattoo before you were vegan, like it's not that big of a deal. Like before you were vegan, you probably ate a lot of meat, and you know what I mean. Eating the meat and demanding those animal products had a worse impact than just getting a tattoo, I would say.
I would say it's the same thing. Because if you're going to be committed to something, you also have to learn to get rid of something of that. It's the same thing that happened to that one lady who was wearing a fur coat. She said we have the right to have animals. We have the right to keep them safe. But yet she was wearing a fur coat. And says, oh, this was animals killed before I put it on. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, there's some vegans that wear fake fur or whatever, and then there's other vegans that don't even agree with that. So, like, that's kind of what you're saying. So, I mean, I don't know. Here's a little bit of information. It seems like your mind's kind of made up, but if you want to take something, you can take something and learn a little bit more, or take a picture of this here.
You got your website or something?
Yeah, so like that's my YouTube channel. If you put my name in, you can pull up my conversations and my videos that are similar to this, or take a picture of these sites here, and some of them are on like YouTube or Netflix or Amazon Prime, and they show you different things about your health, about religion, about what happens to the animals, cows, pigs, chickens, the fur industry, even animal testing and everything. You can see all that stuff on there. And Challenge 22 will help you live vegan if you want to live vegan. Send you recipes. You can talk to a nutritionist to make sure you're getting all your nutrition.
I know how nutritionists work. I talked to them when I was in sports.
Yeah, so I mean, I appreciate you stopping and talking to me.
See you, Dick.
Just be a little open-minded and try to learn a little bit more, and you might end up coming to the similar conclusions that I did. You know, you never know.
Well said.
See ya. You said I doubt it. Yeah, damn, I should have pulled the video out. I don't know if you would have liked to watch that. That was kind of a hard one. I didn't ask him the normal questions though, I don't think anyway, so that's why I got off. Game over. Raisins. Replace the tattoos. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I don't think Justin Bieber's vegan either. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
I ain't got time, buddy. I gotta get there.
Alright. When you come back? Yeah. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Can I ask you a few questions?
We're actually on a tour.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't have time.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't realize that she's a tour guide. I've never seen her before. I know some of the tour guides. I did look at her pass. She had a pass, but it wasn't one that I recognized. So I thought maybe she just got it from a museum or something. Well, there's a lady across the street that has a big stuffed animal horse. I hope she comes over here. She's carrying it under the belly, and the arms are like flapping around like this. It looks really funny. That was quick. Yeah. Oh, here she comes. Oh, she's getting in that car. Wait. Oh, no, she's walking around. The horse. Did you guys see it? Looks like it's getting a little cloudier. More cloudy. Storm might be coming in soon. Yeah, so I put a bingo card in my description. So if you guys want to play bingo, actually it's right here. This is the bingo card that I made. If you guys do want to play along, it's in the description. You can just like take a screenshot of it or download it and edit it, mark it, and send it to me if you get bingo, and I'll give you a shout out. Or when I get more subscribers and I can do memberships, I'll give out free memberships if you guys get bingo. I thought that would be a good way to keep people engaged. Thanks, guys. I got like 20 people in here. That's cool. That's more. I think my other streams, I was averaging around 15 or 18 people, something like that. These guys are driving down the road with their trailer door wide open. Yikes. Over here. How you doing? Can I ask you guys a few questions? How you doing? Can I ask you guys a few questions?
I'm good, buddy.
Darn. Oh, here's the mom that pulled the kid away when I started talking to him. They looked down and saw the vegan stuff, and they were like, "No, don't talk to that guy." Tell them their arguments before they do. I did that to one guy that was here. He kept coming up with a bunch of stuff, and I was pretty much knew what he was saying before. No one has gone into the tap house at all. I feel bad for him. Farm aid. He's got a farm shirt on. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Is it just a concert or something? It's got musicians or something on the back of it. Yeah, I talked to one guy before I was streaming. I was getting set up, and he came over and was talking to me. He was a farmer. He said he liked animals and wanted to respect animals, but like most people today, they just don't think that there's anything wrong with it, but they have no justification, obviously. How you doing?
Good.
Can I ask you a few questions?
About what?
About animals. Do you like animals?
You got 20 seconds.
You like animals? Yeah.
I like animals.
Do you eat animals?
I eat them.
Do you think that we can eat them and take things from them and respect them at the same time?
Yeah, of course.
Can you explain it? How do you think?
It gets back to Native American tradition.
Right.
Waste.
Are we Native Americans?
Sorry?
Are we Native Americans?
No. Was I born here? Am I native from the United States? I am.
Sure. Do you treat animals like the Native Americans treated their animals when you eat?
Yes.
You do that? You do the same things that they did?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. I don't butcher my own animals or skin them.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Do that because I don't.
Huh.
I live in a one-bedroom apartment in town. Probably, I don't think my landlord would appreciate it if I was doing that.
Right, yeah.
But does any of the food that I buy go to waste? Never.
Okay. So, do you think though, even when we're bringing these animals into existence for us and we're taking them out for our benefit, do you think it's okay, like how we exploit animals?
No, not unless we're using that animal because our bodies truly need the nourishment. Our bodies truly need the hides and the leathers and the furs and things like that in order to survive.
Right.
I do think that there's probably mass production of these animals in these farms, and it's probably a lot of waste going on.
Yeah. I mean, would you be open to learning that we can actually survive and thrive on a plant-based diet?
No, because I am a carnivore, and I'm proud of it. I mean, I do believe that we are intended to eat some meat and not just exclusively a plant-based diet.
Yeah. Like, why though? Like, what's your justification? because there's research out there that shows that we can thrive on a plant-based diet. So there's nothing that is
Show
necessary
me
from
your
an
research.
animal. So it's the Academy of.
You can tell me,
Let me-
about the research all day
What's the name of the research, guys? I don't know the name of it. They'll put it in there in a second, but you can look it up yourself. Like, don't just take my word for everything I'm saying.
Which is why
Obviously,
I can't answer your question. I
But-
have to be in front of a computer. I have to do the research.
Sure,
I
sure,
have
sure.
to look it up.
I do have some information here. If you want, you can take a picture of my folder, and these are a lot of really good resources, and you can learn a lot from those.
Okay. I'll take a
Living in
picture of it. I
town,
mean,
do
sure,
that.
I'll check out your, what's this conspiracy thing? What's that all about?
It's the American Academy of Dietetics. That's what that's the study I was talking about.
This?
So Christspiracy, it's about living vegan and also being a Christian.
Okay.
So if you're religious, definitely check that out.
Gotcha.
Dominion and Pignorant will show you what happens to the animals in the industries.
Yeah, I've seen films like that, man. I don't like that. I don't like
Right.
what they're injecting them with. And
You don't want to support that, but when there's
I definitely
products,
don't.
we are supporting that, right?
Yeah.
Game Changers and What the Health will show you about your health. And then Challenge 22 will actually send you challenges every day, recipes. You can talk to a nutritionist to make sure you're getting everything that you need. And it's all free. So definitely, if you want to learn a little bit more, if you think about it from the perspective of the animal, how fast would you want things to stop?
I would like things to, I mean, nothing is an overnight process. I mean, I'm a realist in that regard. But
Yeah,
I think we could certainly be doing a better job.
Yeah.
Yes.
From a like a global perspective, we definitely can't just change overnight. But from an individual's perspective, we can change overnight. It might be hard to just stop, immediately, but it is possible.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it. Actually, it's funny. I don't want to get down a super huge rabbit hole here, but I watched a film. I was so incredibly and wildly grossed out by what I saw happening to animals being injected and just the things at these meat processing plants.
Yeah.
That I took every ounce of meat out of our home. My kid was not happy.
Yeah, right.
Neither was my husband at the time, but and bought plant-based everything.
Yeah.
But I will be honest, we did that for like 2 months. I was like, all right, I need meat. Like, I have to have some form of meat because I felt a change. Like, I didn't feel as healthy.
Right.
Just eating exclusively plant-based items as I did when I had some meat in my diet.
Sure.
Do I eat meat every single day? No, I don't. But I definitely do think that it should be responsibly consumed, if that makes sense.
Sure. So when you reduce, I like to compare that sometimes to like if somebody was abusing women and they were going around and they did it like a couple times a week and then they cut back and they were just doing it once a week. Like, would that be good? Would that be better?
Depends. I mean, no, it's not. It wouldn't be better.
It would still be wrong,
abuse
right?
is abuse. But if you're consuming animal product and it's not an abusive context, right? Like the mass-produced chicken houses and all that kind of crap you see, then yeah, it is okay in my opinion.
Yeah.
We
Even
are
if-
God's beings. We're meant to we're meant to take advantage of what He has given to us.
Yeah, to take advantage. You think like
Not
but
in a
like-
sketchy, sus way.
like yeah, I mean does that like that means like we almost justifying doing whatever we want to an animal. I mean,
no, you don't.
what's worse than
don't
taking
twist
their
my words, homie.
But what's
Don't
worse
do
than
that.
taking their
That's not
life
cool.
though? Because then even if you give them a good life during their life,
What's the purpose of?
if you take their life,
What are you getting at, dude?
what's
Like,
your purpose? You know what your purpose is?
My purpose is to go eat a big fat juicy burger down in area.
You get a plant-based burger.
Nope. thank
Actually,
you.
I don't know if you
Time's
can
up.
there, but man, that's crazy. She said that's what happens when you stop and talk to a random guy on the street or something. Oh, there's the Vanderhall. She came back again. Yeah, she was a little crazy. She was definitely not. Well, I don't know what. She said she stopped eating meat because of some gross footage. I mean, I would think that's like an ethical point of view, but she was just like 2 months and that's it. She clearly didn't try anything else. Like, you know what I mean? She just tried to be a vegan. She switched stuff out, probably didn't eat enough, or wasn't eating the right things, you know? Or if she was, you know, not eating the right thing, then should have been supplementing something she wasn't. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Why is that car alarm going off? Oh. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. Like, take advantage of Challenge 22 or the Daily Dozen. Nutritionfacts.org. They have the Daily Dozen. And I think, what's his name? Vegan, I think it's Vegan Power Lab or the Vegan Gym or something like that. That guy makes really good videos about like nutrition. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
We're good. Thank you, baby.
How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? This shirt says biscuits and porn. That's a place in the Outer Banks. How you doing, sir?
Very good, are you?
Good. Can I ask you a few questions? You got a few minutes?
Not really.
No.
I'll break.
Yeah, you're trying to find something to munch on? Can I just like show you a quick video real quick? It might affect what you decide to eat. If I can get this to open up here. Are you okay being in my video?
Oh man, I'm gonna be
You get the Lagatare.
I don't like chicken. One thing that unites us.
You don't like chicken? Yeah. Well, that's good.
I'm good, man.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Can I ask you a few questions?
No, it's okay.
He couldn't wait until I got the video played. As soon as I played it, he saw the chicken and he's like, I don't like chicken. Walked away. Almost 3 hours. Yeah, really. In the heart of Meat Town. I am. There's not a lot of vegans out here. Yeah, it is the 3-minute movie. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Can I ask you guys a few questions?
We're gonna eat.
It's about food. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Do you guys like animals?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you okay being in my video?
Pardon?
Are you okay being in my video?
No, I'd rather not.
Like, no? Okay. Can I still ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Do you like animals?
We do, yeah.
Yeah. Do you eat animals?
Not as much as I used to.
Right, yeah. Why is that?
Because I don't know what's in it.
Right, yeah. So do you think that we can respect animals if we're taking stuff from them?
I think if we do it respectfully, we can, but yeah.
Even when we're taking their life?
I don't know.
Yeah, right?
I've toyed with veganism, but I haven't gone the full way yet. Right now, I'm just like pretty much fish. It's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay. So, like, what's stopping you? I mean, what's your definition of living vegan? You know the full definition?
No,
like,
I don't.
Yeah, so it's, most people think it's just a diet, but it's not actually just a diet. The diet can be a big part of it, but it's it's the definition of living vegan is rejecting that exploitation of the animals. So it includes like wearing fur and leather and stuff like that.
I don't wear fur.
But yeah, most people already reject those things, right?
Yeah.
So what's stopping you from doing that with what you eat too?
I don't know. Probably the fact that I have people in my family and they wouldn't eat vegan.
Yeah, we'll just make them.
Yeah, just make
No.
them. I gotta get going.
All right, well, it was good talking to you. Did you guys like that one? She was like, the whole time she was trying to go, they were waiting for her at the corner. Just make them. That's what I was telling kids too to do with their parents. Just make them. I thought that was funny. I heard Gary and Vegan Gains were talking about that the other day. How many of you guys like those guys? How do you guys feel about Gary and Vegan Gains? Because I see a lot of people that like don't like them that are vegans. How you doing? Somebody almost just calls it an accident. They're beeping and yelling at each other. Like I watch some of Vegan Gains stuff. Like I don't really know them. So how you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? And then obviously, like I've seen some of Gary's stuff too, but like him like coming back and saying like F human rights and stuff like that, it's making some people feel kind of weird. And like I heard what he was saying, and he kind of explained himself, like, but it's obviously it's like it's a little extreme. Man, this guy. Somebody's trying to cut around that truck, and he stopped, and the guy's got to back up now. That's funny. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Not everybody's going around him and not letting him in. That's funny. That's what you get when you try to be a dumbass. People do not know how to drive. It's so scary. What's up, Jason? So, yeah, right. Saying veganism is a diet is like saying a rainbow is red. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
Not right now, but we'll try to find a restaurant.
It's about food. Most people are trying to find a restaurant. So earlier, before I started my stream, I passed out 6 more of their zines to a bunch of places that were around the square. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
I'm good, thank you.
You think people think I'm trying to sell them something? Yeah, the carnivore dieters, they do say like high LDL doesn't matter. As long as your HDL is high too or something like that. I don't know. I don't think, I'm pretty sure there's other biomarkers that wouldn't like that. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
I think we're good, thanks.
Yeah, so I was listening to Gary explain that a little more, and he's like, he's like F human rights and all that stuff. He's just saying that to get eyes on him. He's not like, when he's like tries to explain it, he's like, he just thinks that the animals' rights is more important, and people should stop trying to put humans first, which I kind of agree with. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a few questions? Can I ask you a few questions?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Like, I don't know. I mean, who am I to say which one's more important to other people? But I think that if you live vegan, you can help most. I think if you're living vegan, you're helping more. It's easier. You're getting the most benefit from like doing the least, is what I think. It doesn't stop you from supporting other injustices, like ending other injustices, you know. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? No, not really. He looks like he's drunk or something. Hopefully he's just got a hurt leg or something, or like, and not stumbling like that. But I don't know. They all seemed like they were very happy, in a very happy mood. That is what I was saying earlier. As people were walking by, I was saying, hey, do you like animals? Yeah, so they don't think I'm trying to sell them something. All right, so I'm only going to go for maybe 15 more minutes. I'll try to get one more conversation. Then I'm going to have to wrap it up. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions? How you doing? You guys like animals? Can I ask you a few questions? A lot of people, when I was saying that, do you like animals? They were a lot of them would just say no and walk by. The dead bear. How you guys doing? I'm pretty sure I already asked them, didn't I? Can I ask you guys a few questions? Can I ask you guys a few questions? All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think they hate animals. I think they just are saying no to what I was, just me talking to them. It's kind of funny. Like, they don't even listen to what I'm saying. They're just like, no. Just like, no, don't talk to me.
That way. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Like, unfortunately,
But yeah, it was a successful day. I had a couple of really good conversations. I passed out a bunch of their zines. A couple of the places were really receptive, and the one guy at the Asian sushi place, he just told me to get out as soon as I handed it to him. He didn't even want me to talk to him. He just said no. He like took it and then pretty much just like pointed at the door, like shooed me out. So yeah, he probably just like threw it in the trash. I doubt he even looked at it. And then there was a pizza place down the street, and I was giving it to her, and she's like looking at it like and looking at me like this is weird and dumb, and like why are you talking to me? She had that like look on her face, and she was like, we have vegan options, and she pointed out 3 different salads that all had cheese, and she's like, we can just make those with no cheese in them. And then after I kind of explained it, she's like, all right, I'll give this to the manager. But I passed out 6. I think 4 out of the 6 were like, okay, sure, we'll pass it on. One lady was actually the owner. How you doing? Can I ask you a few questions? Oh, it'll just take a minute.
Quite as dark as mine. It's like a very
The double-decker bus went by. A couple people waved. Can I ask you guys a couple questions?
Yeah, not today.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Can I ask you a few questions? All right. Are you okay being in my video?
No.
No? Aw. Why?
What is it about?
It's just about animals. Do you like animals?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you eat animals?
Yes.
Yeah. I used to. Do you think that...
I've thought about going vegetarian or vegan.
Yeah. So, like, how do you feel about how humans exploit animals? Like, it's not a good thing, right?
No.
Like, I didn't want to support that anymore.
That's one of the reasons. I don't know what I saw. Food Inc., I think it was.
Food Inc., yeah, that's a good one.
And I thought about it. It's just, I've got to do my research on it to make sure protein with stuff in it.
Right, yeah, all that stuff. So you already have that mindset, right?
Yes.
Oh, you dropped something.
Oh,
I need that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, you have the mindset. You know what the animals are going through. You want, if you were in their position, you'd want it to stop like right now, right? So like, I have a little bit more information here.
Okay.
If you want to take any of these, you can take any of this stuff on the side, and take a picture of my folder here. This is my channel, so you can see other conversations. Okay. But these are a lot of really good resources for different things. And Challenge 22 can help you every day. They'll send you recipes.
I know. I just looked at pig. Like, I've dated Muslims.
Yeah.
And they've accidentally eaten pork or something like that. It makes you sick.
Yeah.
If it was good, it was not to make you sick. So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
I mean,
I love animals, and I've thought about it. I've done research on it. It's just to make that change.
Yeah, so I mean, what's the number one benefit when you're vegan? You stop being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Because it's
and
like
I know I'm a hypocrite, and I know that. So
yeah.
At least I know that.
And once you're aware, like that, you're doing something that's hypocritical. Don't you think we should be making an effort to change that?
Yeah,
like,
I made some effort.
Yeah. So like I said, you could, if you want to take any information here.
I'm just picky, and tofu kind of scared. Like, I've got to try the tofu, and I'm a picky person.
Yeah, try it and try it a couple different times in different ways. Like, because you might try it once, it might not be that good.
And that's probably just my big hang up because I'm so picky.
Yeah. Just try it out. You got to think from the perspective of the animals.
Yeah.
Like every time you're buying an animal product, you're responsible for putting another animal in that line to the slaughterhouse.
I know.
So you can make a change. So that was a good quick one. So I think I'm just gonna wrap up now. I got maybe 5 more minutes. So maybe I'm gonna ask this lady that's walking by. But yeah, today was pretty active. So she's on the phone. So it might have been a good stream to play the bingo card. But now, if you guys weren't in here earlier, I did make a bingo card with a bunch of excuses, and it's in the description. You can check it out. We can do that next time. I'll shout out anyone who gets bingo. When I get memberships, then I can give out some free memberships or something like that. But yeah, thanks for everybody that was here. I don't know if I'm going to get another conversation, but definitely made a difference today. And I couldn't do it without you guys too, so I really appreciate it. It makes a big difference, I think. You know, if I was just doing this out here without recording it and putting it online, so I think trying to get it out in front of as many people as possible is important. So I just broke 20,000 views, so that's kind of cool for a small little channel. I just noticed that when I was looking at all my stats. So yeah, I guess just kind of talk to you guys for the last couple minutes. There's some people coming. I might be able to ask them. But yeah, the UFO guy. Yeah, I think he was an alien. He was the ET himself. How you doing?
Yes.
Can I ask you a few questions? Good. How you doing?
No questions, but what are you selling?
No, I'm not selling nothing. So, do you like animals?
No, I hate them.
No, you hate them? Yeah.
I'm kidding. Sorry, man, we gotta run.
Yeah, no good. Thanks for stopping. How you guys doing? Can I ask you a few questions?
What's up?
Yeah. You alright being in my video? Are you okay being in my video? It's a live stream. Here's a mic. You can talk into that if you want.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So how do you guys like animals?
I love animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any specific ones that you like most, or?
I love them all.
Yeah, all of them. Cool.
All of them.
Yeah, me too. So, do you eat animals?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to. Do you think that when we're eating animals and taking things from them, we're respecting them?
Probably not, no.
Yeah. Do you want to respect animals? Like, if you love them, you want to respect them?
Love to. Yeah.
That's how I felt.
I love you.
So, do you know what the definition of living vegan is?
Not eating meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, is not eating meat, but it's also other products too. So eggs and dairy, and then it extends past our diet to like fur and leather, and then like bath and beauty products, things like that are tested on animals. So if you want to respect animals, I think the best way for myself was just to leave them alone and not eating any animal products anymore, using them. So that's what veganism is, a stance against that animal exploitation, right?
Okay.
So if you were in the animal's position, how fast would you want things to change? Have you ever thought about it from their point of view?
Not really.
Isn't that kind of weird?
A little bit.
Do you guys think that you'd be able to live vegan? What would be stopping you from living vegan? Respecting the animals. School and stuff, yeah. They don't have any vegan options.
Really not.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Only thing they really have is like a salad bar.
Yeah. That's like a lot of the restaurants around here too. Some of them they don't have many options, but some other places do. So, I mean, can you pack your own food? You know, you can pack your own stuff and make it vegan. So, if you guys want a little bit more information, you can take any of this stuff here or take a picture of my folder. It's got some good resources there if you guys want to learn a little bit more.
Cool.
So,
all right. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for talking. See you guys. This fucking guy. All right. Yikes. But I don't know if that person was really listening to much of what I was saying. How are you guys doing? Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for being here, everybody. That's it for today. I was able to do the full stream without the storm coming, so that's good. Had some good conversations. Had some pretty crazy conversations. The bank came out and was wondering what I was doing. This tap room restaurant did not get one person. They've been open since noon, and not one person went inside. That's crazy. Only the manager, or I saw one guy go in this morning when he unlocked the door. But yeah, I passed out all those zines. I need to make more and pass more out, but hopefully that'll get some of these restaurants to add more vegan options. And I forgot to tell them, but some of the people that are receptive, and especially the one lady that was the owner, I need to tell them that other restaurants around here have vegan menus. So if they had a vegan menu and actually advertised it, then that would be a huge signal to bring all the vegans to their restaurant. So it's about 2,000 vegans in like the local Facebook group. That's like Gettysburg and like a couple of other towns. So hopefully these restaurants make some changes, and then they can post right into that group and bring, potentially 2,000 vegans. We'll have eyes on the restaurant. So it should hopefully make a difference. I mean, if I already dropped 10 of them, 9 of them. Actually, the 10th one I gave to my brother, and he said he's going to hand it off to somebody. So I thought that was really cool. He's not even vegan, but he's pretty supportive. So yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. And I'm not sure when I'm going to do the next one. Probably I don't know if I'll be here on Friday. How you doing?
Concert Friday. Concert
on Friday? All right, well, maybe I will come back on Friday then.
Actually, it's in McSherrystown, but either way, it's a good time.
All right, well, actually, I live closer to McSherrystown. So, thanks. All right, well, then maybe I'm not coming out here on Friday. Maybe I'm going to a concert then. So, I don't know. Here, this is what he just dropped. And that's another reason why I wanted to use this camera, because when I show you guys stuff, it won't be backwards. So it actually, it'll kind of make sense when I show you things. But, all right, I'm out of here. I'm doing what Chip does. He says he's going to leave and say bye, and then he talks for 10 minutes. So, thanks, guys.